And welcome to another episode of the Unorthodox Podcast. My name is Evan. You may have noticed that this is audio only. You're only going to notice that if you're not listening on Spotify, which most people are anyway. Yeah, but you all met my beautiful new dog daughter Clara last week. Well, unfortunately, she chewed through the wire of my computer charger. So I am now stuck recording this on Podbean on a Google Chromebook.
I feel like there's something kind of charming about like the fact that this is happening. Like it's a glimpse into the day-to-day life, you know? Like,
and you just heard in the studio, Tech Guy.
Hi, I'm here as an equal.
This time he is, yes. Just no one's being filmed.
Wow, I really shot that shot and you like I was expecting you to go like don't get like any ideas, you know.
This may be Tech Guy's last show.
True.
He's not moving away, he's not getting another job, but there's a spike with his head's name on it.
I'm contemplating remote work though.
There will be no remote work. If anything, we'll put you in like a little computer, like Halo, where they take their minds and put them in a little floaty head monitor.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do.
Yeah.
All right. There's some things in the show aren't going to hit. I'm going to warn you that right now.
Some real slapstick.
Clara, go back to sleep, bitch.
Wow, she knows that she
knows she messed up. She does. Okay. Well, okay. Yeah. All right.
Really. We've been easy on Clara.
Yeah. I have Asian neighbors, and I keep threatening when she messes up. I keep threatening to bring her to them. Jeez. I just walk in, and she's sitting in like a pot of almost boiling water, just like chilling, because she thinks it's a bath, but they're cutting like carrots and potatoes into it, and she's like eating one of the carrots. It's a Looney Tunes joke, if you didn't know. All right.
Yeah.
You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, X. I don't think I have any post. Wait, no, I posted 3 things on TikTok at UnorthoBros. Got more of you following on Twitter. Appreciate that. Get some more people on Instagram. I'll be more active on there. You can email the show at theunorthodoxpod@proton.me. That's right. We have a new email. To hell with Gmail. All of our stuff is now encrypted. It's secure. The Unorthodox Pod at proton.me.
Sponsor us.
See, there were 2 options. It was proton.mail or proton.me. Proton.me makes me sound fancier.
Yeah, that's true. .mail, that's very 2008.
Yes, of course. You can watch us on Rumble, YouTube, listen to us on Spotify, where we have a lot of sketches in the works. We have a lot of stuff in the works. It's going to be great. With Tech Guy leaving, I bet the show will be way more productive.
Wow.
No, one less ADHD brain in studio.
You know, I wish that I could be offended, but
his brain will be in the studio. The rest,
the body will be in a river.
Yes, of course. You can Venmo us at Evan-Brennan-10. I'm still setting up that Patreon. Actually, I don't know if I want to go with Patreon or locals. Let me know. We'll have a lot of exclusive content on there. Yeah, and by the way, like I said last week, I want the show to go into a different direction. So if you have a band, you do stand-up comedy, send that stuff in. If you did an open mic 5 minutes and someone did a quality recording of it, send it in. We'll play it on the show.
Good stuff.
Even if I don't like it, I'll still play it anyway because I know there's different tastes out there, and I'm a bit of a grumpy bitch, grumpy douche. If you have music, don't let it be just like you playing on your guitar to a camera. It's like actually recorded stuff. Like Tech Guy records music. Make sure it's like that. Do you want to say the name of your band?
No.
New viewers.
Anyway,
you don't know your names. But actual like studio quality recorded stuff. Don't just send you singing "This Little Light of Mine" at a.
Also, like, don't do karaoke.
Don't do karaoke.
Like, that's.
I will find you. If you
or you know what? If it's really bad, do karaoke.
Fair enough.
Just know that we'll make fun of you.
Only we didn't start the fire. Only that. God, I wish this was filmed. I'm angry. Never mind. I just saw the next segment on the show that we can no longer do because this isn't being recorded on
so
visual.
Disappointing.
We'll do it next week. Question of the day. This question was going around social media quite a bit. I believe the original wording was that it's directed to women. That if you're in the woods, would you rather meet a man or you don't know or a bear while you are in the woods? It appears online that most people would view bear for reasons that we'll probably get into. But Tech Guy, what would you choose?
Okay. It really depends. If I'm just hiking and I'm alone in the woods, I mean, this isn't really for us. This is for women. But if I'm hiking and I'm alone in the woods, probably man. You know, and it also depends on proximity.
This is the thing.
Yeah,
see, this is why men are. This is why men are.
Here's the other thing too: is for women, it's like a question about. Sorry,
talk closer to the mic.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. For women, it's like a question about. I don't know how you feel, and
well, see, that's the thing.
But like, men are always trying to break down the problem.
This is why men are better than women. Just like, yes, because women are like, yes, fair every time to the sexual assault or something like that. Mm-hmm. Men are like, okay, we have questions. What kind of bear are we talking about? Polar, black, grizzly?
Yeah,
Kodiak?
polar bear.
What kind of bear?
Screwed.
Are we in Pacific Northwest where they're a little more docile, where they're used to people? Are we in Alaskan Yukon where they will hunt you for sport? What time of year is it? Are they just coming off hibernation or just going in? Mm-hmm. Am I armed? Are we talking deciduous forest or redwood?
Which, like, not really the point of the question. Like, but you know,
relevant questions.
But if we're trying to break,
this is how the male brain. This is how the male brain works. We need further details, and this is why men don't do as well in school as women.
You know, this actually like reminds me of a thing that happened just today. We were watching this thing called by.
Like for men, the better question would be. Sorry, I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
No.
If it was. Well, it's my show. I do it. Well, it's like, so if men would care less because the whole thing's like sexual assault, right? It would be like Lizzo or a bear in the woods. Has Lizzo been fed recently? If she hasn't, I'm choosing bear every day.
So here's the other thing: a lot of men, they don't care. Like,
yeah,
you know,
like most
they're like, is she going to assault me? I don't know. If so, I'd rather have the bear do it.
If it's the bear, I'm pulling out a knife, and I'm just Liam Neeson at the end of The Grey when he meets the wolf. You see that movie?
No, I haven't.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, where they're charging each other, and it's like a whole thing where it's like finally reclaiming his life, but you don't know if he lived or died.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So
like a good. I love a movie that ends with a question.
Yeah. Actually, I believe there was a post-credit scene where maybe they were both dying. It's like double kill.
Huh.
Go watch The Grey. I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
All right. 5 in the chamber. I'm very proud of these. They wrote themselves this week, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
New York Mayor Eric Adams suggested during a news press conference on Tuesday that newly arrived migrants could be placed in jobs such as lifeguards because, according to him, they are excellent swimmers. Yes, that is a real headline and a real thing that an elected official said. Mayor Adams has come under fire from many groups, but none more so than everyone who told that joke 12 years ago. You know what joke I'm talking about? Where it's like, where it's like, the reason there's no Mexicans, he limits all the ones that can run, jump, and swim are over here. Ha, ha, ha. He told that joke, but he meant it, which is so funny. Tech guy, you want to do the next one?
Let's see. What are we looking at? Let's see. Oh, a woman in Brazil.
Oh no, right? two.
Okay. Staying in New York, Governor Kathy Hochul, all right, is facing backlash after saying that black people, quote, don't know what a computer is. And then there's a clip of this.
There was a clip.
Yeah.
Thank you, Clara.
The comment sparked outrage from the black community, who expressed that outrage by immediately voting for her in for another term.
Yes, you gotta love how that works, right? People. A woman in Brazil was arrested after she wheeled her dead uncle into a bank in order to secure a loan. The picture we had for this was terrifying, by the way.
That's so fucking nuts.
The woman claims that she is not a monster, kind of, and that she did her civic duty by immediately registering her newly deceased relative as a voter in the Democratic Party. No, but the picture is terrifying.
Okay, wait. Actually, so talking about fraudulent votes, have you heard about the legislation in Delaware that allows corporations to vote in elections?
That's terrifying.
So, if you don't know anything else about Delaware, so Delaware is a state that's basically set up so that you can register a company as quickly as possible. You can register a new LLC.
I'm gonna Google that.
I've listened to multiple full podcast episodes on how Delaware is basically
all of them
like
NPR.
A company. Actually, one was a Reply All, which is not NPR.
That's a while ago.
Anyway, okay, well, yeah, maybe, but it's still nuts.
Delaware Bill 211.
But it costs $200, basically, which means that in Delaware, if this legislation were to pass, which I don't know if it did or didn't, votes would be $200 a piece in Delaware.
Damn.
Which is nuts.
Well, it's mostly rich white people anyway, so.
Yeah, it's rich white people.
I mean, they put Joe Biden in power. They can't be that bright.
Yeah, well, and the other thing about Delaware is that, like, there's some special legislative rules that basically mean if you're, like, a corporation or a lawyer, I think more specifically, like, Delaware lawyers run Delaware, and, like, they push through all sorts of legislation.
See, that does raise a lot of interesting questions, just like, how does a company vote? Do they send in one guy, and does that guy get to vote again as himself?
Oh, that's interesting.
That raises a lot of interesting questions.
Like, are you, like, if you're selected to vote, and they tell you to vote for someone that you, like, really don't like, say, like, your high school bully, do you accidentally, quote-unquote, vote for someone else?
And if you're a company like Walmart, like we have many locations in many different states. In a federal election,
well, I think the minimum wage employees count as 3/5 of a vote.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not people. Okay. Do you want to read the next one?
You got what I was referencing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Student protesters at Princeton University have announced the end of the year hunger strike just 10 days after the.
Okay.
Sorry.
You know when we start that?
Yeah. Let's go from
student protesters.
Yeah. Student protesters at Princeton University have announced the end of their 10-day hunger strike due to health concerns, chief among them being hungry. They have also announced that this was just the first wave of hunger strikes and that they will be continuing rotary. Oh my goodness, I'm botching this. Rotary strikes. Abstaining from all food or drinks except water and cock.
No, but that's a real thing. They said, like, we're going to do a hunger strike, but, like, you tend to get hungry during those, so we're going to bring some new people there, get some refreshments, get something to eat, and they're going to rotate back. These people are idiots.
Yeah, like, that's, like, the whole point of a hunger strike. Like, that is that it's, like...
You're starving yourself to death for this thing. Like,
yeah. You're like, fine, right? You want to do this, you're going to have to watch people starve to death.
The more I saw
of you.
about these protesters, the more pathetic it just got. You saw them cutting, like, garbage cans in half and using them as little shields in front of the cops. You saw them demand, like, we are going to occupy this building, but we demand the university bring us food. Like, that's not how this works.
Yeah,
you don't get how this works.
Yeah.
And then the frat guys, I love you, Pio, for doing what you guys did. Hell yes. They did, yet frat boys defending the flag. You know why people hate them? It's because they're normal. We hate normal in this country now.
I don't know.
But here's the thing.
I mean, do either of us really like frat guys?
I do a lot more after this. Is the thing. Here's the thing. What was I about to say? Line up 100 of the people who protested for Hamas. Line up 100 of the frat boy protesters. Picture them in your mind. Viewer, close your eyes. If you're driving, especially, close your eyes. Which group looks more normal to you? The image in your head. Which group would you not cross the street when they're coming towards you? Which one doesn't smell or seem to have a problem with every word you say? The protesters, obviously. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we all know frat people are notoriously, you know.
Okay. But if you're thinking about in what way...
I'm sorry, my puppy is sleeping now.
Who's stereotypically saying, you got a problem, bro? Just saying.
I'd rather deal with them at this point than leftists. Okay. In all seriousness though, the Unorthodox Podcast does stand with these protesters and their cause. We really do. If I would like to call this segment Unorthodox Cares or Unortho Bros for a cause, something like that. When we have stingers, that will be one of them. We care so much so that we are offering, and this is completely serious, by the way, contact us if you would like to take us up on this. I'm not joking. We are offering to pay for a first-class, one-way ticket for any student protester to fly to Tel Aviv and take a bus to Gaza so you can show your support in person. This is serious. I will personally foot the bill because we care so much about this. This is a worthy cause. And if more people donate to the show at Evan-Brennan-10 on Venmo, we'll be able to send way more student protesters straight to Gaza.
Evan, would you follow them? Would you follow them and like film them up until a certain point?
I would have them film themselves. I can't afford. I can't afford a vest to look nice. Yeah. Of course. On the condition, of course, that you wear a bright rainbow-colored shirt that says "Gays for Gaza." Because we want you to fully show your support. Because they're going to support. They're waving their rainbow flags over there in Gaza. Of course, we'll bus food. Lodging, we will take care of all of it. Send us an email at theunorthodoxpod@proton.me. And the reason it's one way, you think, okay, he just wants to get us killed. It's not it at all. I am 100% certain that you are going to love that Mediterranean beachfront city so much that you will never want to leave.
I'm going to be honest. If it weren't for the war and the fact that there's no proper sanitation, if it weren't for basically everything, it probably would be a pretty sick place to be, A
lot of comments. Honestly, yeah. If you, like I said, if you would like to be considered for this, please send us an email at theunorthodoxpod@proton.me. Tell us why you deserve it, and we will select the one we think is most deserving. Like I said, this is a worthy cause. We want to get people on the ground there. On the ground. Excuse me. What did I say?
I think you did say on the ground, but clearly you were thinking in the ground.
The more protesters we have in the ground in Gaza, on the ground in Gaza, the better chance we have of ending that genocidal piece of shit apartheid state. Also, in addition to our generous offer to send one lucky protester directly to their dream city, the Unorthodox Podcast is announcing that we are completely divesting from Israel. We have heard the complaints of the protesters outside of our studio. There have been some hunger strikes. They have occupied the break room. And we understand them, we hear them, and we are answering the call. All associations that the Unorthodox Podcast has with the evil apartheid state of Israel have officially been cut off until their illegal invasion and occupation of the Gaza Strip has ended. In completely unrelated news, the Unorthodox Podcast is announcing the following jobs are open in studio. Writing staff, human resources, legal, accounting, and the guy who picks up pizza for staff meetings. Got to keep those tips down.
Yep. There we go.
This whole thing has been a hassle, but I cannot tell you how much it's going to save in paid holidays.
There you go.
There, yeah.
You heard it first.
Yes. Saw a couple movies this weekend. Fall Guy and Planet of the Apes, the one with the super long title.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both great movies.
Yeah. How much dialogue was in Planet of the Apes?
Actually, more than you, because the apes can fully talk now.
Okay. They're all the way.
Is this mic working? I just realized there's a little meter right there. Because if this isn't working, I'm gonna murder everybody. Yeah,
that would be very upsetting. Okay,
no. You know what? Let's continue on with the show and just assume it's working, because I can't take that right now. And if it's not, I'm gonna throw myself out of a building.
Honestly, we should have just recorded this with another device of some kind.
We don't have one again. Thank you, Clara. Tech Guy's last show was going great. Yep. Anyway, continue on. If this sounds like shit, I just won't release it, and then maybe you can find a time, come here for an hour, and do it again.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, Fall Guy, Planet of the Apes, great movies. Just entertaining. Fall Guy is one of the most fun movies I've been to in a while.
Yeah, it did look. You know what I've noticed about who's the star?
Gosling.
Gosling. Yeah, I feel like ever since he played Ken in the Barbie movie, he's been so I don't know, just the way he's been. I feel like he learned something from that movie.
Not sure what you mean.
He's just been. Have you seen him in interviews?
No.
I feel like he's just he's always kind of laying back in his chair, yeah, man. I don't know. Just something about him.
30 mil will do that to you.
There you go.
Yeah. Woke is dead too. The Tom Brady roast killed it. He had Tone Anthony, the guy who runs the Kill Tony podcast, which I will be on one day. He's going on stage, funniest roast I've seen. He's saying faggot on Netflix TV, which even 2 years ago would have gotten him crucified in public, but now just no one cares. Nobody cares anymore, which is amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's not so adorable. I mean, it's not something you go around saying all the time, but the fact that he isn't being murdered for it.
Yeah, I think that people have realized that, like, with comedy, like, you got to give it a little bit of a pass. Like, it's just we got to be able to make some jokes.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I disagree.
Oh,
I think jokes are bad. I think
shoot.
I think you need comedy. Comedy should make you comfortable.
Man,
comedy needs to take the most amount of people and make sure they just feel good about themselves.
Okay, I gotta head out.
We can't be mean in comedy. Why? Anyway, then I watched the new Doctor Who season.
How was that? Yeah,
gave me way less hope for Hollywood. Shit,
didn't like it.
It's Disney.
Yeah.
It's not even the woke stuff. It's just Disney.
Well, here's the thing. Honestly, probably okay that they're doing like honestly, I'd be okay with gay doctor. I'd be okay with like woman doctor. The character. Well, yeah, because the doctor really isn't romantic. He's pretty aromantic. Yeah. I don't know. I guess maybe trans doctor would be more okay.
But no, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because
so he's a doctor who regenerates into a man but thinks he's a woman.
Oh, but maybe I don't actually.
Or
you
vice
know what?
versa.
I'm going to be honest with Doctor Who. You actually could explain that pretty well, because you could be like, shoot, I meant to regenerate into a woman,
but that would mean it's a mistake.
Exactly,
that would mean trans people are a mistake.
Well, I don't know.
Transphobe piece of shit.
All I'm saying is I feel like you could have explained it with the doctor. I feel like that would be actually fine.
Or we can just give the best person the job.
But my point,
instead of just making it a checklist.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Maybe don't check all. Don't have him a straight white man or a straight cis white man the whole time.
Who gives a shit? Just
and then all of a sudden be we gotta make it inclusive.
Just run auditions and then make and. Well,
here's the thing. Actually, that would be a great way to do the doctor. Is they just audition people hey, and then whoever it is
Well, what I don't understand is
if it's a woman,
the dude went
give them the job. If it's a man, give them the job. No matter who they are, just audition.
What I don't get is the guy went
that would
through
be a cool
13 iterations of older white dudes, and then suddenly he was like, you know what? I'll try out not having a penis anymore. Let me black.
You know what?
He seems to have a preference. His character seems to like what he looks like.
Here's the other thing too. After that many regenerations, I feel like I'd get curious. Maybe he's in his experimental phase.
What's hilarious about that though is that previous doctors and writers have treated the doctor not liking guns and kind of being morally up his own ass is almost a character flaw, and sometimes you have villains point that out. With 13, did horrible genocidal monstrous things, and it was you had characters praise her for it, and it was never pointed out.
Huh?
There's this in one episode she wiped out this entire species of spiders. Well, almost wiped it out. This guy who was an analog for Donald Trump went up and shot the thing, and she's it was gonna die a natural death, which to her was locking it in a room and letting it slowly starve to death, and it descended to madness.
Huh.
And the guy was consider it mercy, and he was the villain in the episode.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you made the right decision there. You're a fucking monster.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I didn't see the episode, but
don't. It's trash.
Yeah.
Just if you ever rewatch the show,
here's the thing,
Capaldi regenerates, the show ends. Just
we always, I hate it when they try to go too far on the diversity stuff, because if you just do diversity and you don't make it the central thing, then it is great.
Thing is, it's impossible. Once you make the focus of whatever you're doing, anything besides telling you this story, and it's not on just the left. This is the reason why 90% of Christian shows and movies suck. Once you make it about anything other than telling a good story, the whole thing falls apart. Every single time, the whole thing falls apart. Once you try to moralize, once you try to shove shit down people's throats, it's like a house of cards. It just tumbles down.
Well, so have I ever talked about Wonder Woman and how that was a great movie? The first one, right, was awesome.
Not the second.
I didn't see the second one, but
3 hours too long.
But the great thing that Wonder Woman did really well is they did a really good, just normal, regular person. Right? And the thing that I think a lot of female...
She's actually Israeli, so we can't talk about her, unfortunately.
Shoot, we're divested.
We did divest, yes, unfortunately.
I don't know, maybe it's like cookies, you can have a little bit on the side.
In reference to Chris Pine.
Little genocide on the side? Little genocide on the side.
Even though it's not genocide at all, and the real genocide is Hamas days. Right, anyway, continue.
Yeah, but little genocide on the side is funny.
It's in their charter. They want to kill all Jews.
Anyway.
Continue.
Anyway, have I ever talked about how a lot of times for strong female characters, quote unquote, they just do toxic masculinity, but in a woman?
Yeah.
No. Yep.
We can either go to Unorthodox History, which is, I love this segment. It's maybe won't hit as well with the pictures, but anyway. Or we can talk about Israel. I feel like that we had a good conversation going there.
About Israel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, how do we begin?
First of all,
I like Jews. You don't go.
Wow, that was a baffling way to... That was...
So as we know, on October 7th, Hamas launched an attack on Israel, killed 1,000 people, kidnapped couple sweet hundo more.
Yep, we all agree that was bad.
A lot of rapes, a lot of tortures.
Yep, we all agreed no bueno.
It is no bueno,
yeah.
But what is bueno is going in and making sure that doesn't happen again.
How you do it, I think, is important.
But how do you do it where what's happening now doesn't happen?
Maybe you don't tell civilians to go somewhere and then immediately bomb those places.
We talked about this before
and
the show.
And then go like, oh, we gotta bomb this hospital. Hamas is there. And then when you investigate the wreckage, you're like grasping for straws and like and going, oh, like, well, this list of people... That was a list that Hamas had put together, and then later it comes out that list was just like a list that the hospital made for like MRIs or something. You know, that was very early that this happened.
I had not heard about that, and I think I'm calling bullshit. But
probably because you don't listen to the same media I do.
I'm sure NPR is very unbiased. Did you hear about that story where the guy was basically a whistleblower at NPR and basically went out and said, "Yeah, we are told not to run stories because they will hurt Democrats."
Yeah, I mean, I do think that NPR has a bias.
Absolutely. This is my theory on why you've gone so far left, because you always...
I don't think I'm that far left.
Listen to me. Exactly. Because you assume, just like you, in your mind, NPR, these are the centrists. These are the measured people who I should listen to not go one side of the political aisle. And in doing so, you kind of got swept up.
Well, but here's the other thing, too. Like, you're talking... as someone who listens to, like, mostly things that are considered, like, very far right. Like,
Ben Shapiro is not far right.
Are you kidding? Ben Shapiro fired someone for criticizing Israel.
It's way more. Candace Owens.
Yeah.
First of all, you want to talk about far right? Even I'll admit she's nuts. It wasn't for criticizing. It wasn't for criticizing Israel. She supported. She said some actual Nazi propaganda on air, and like And she worked with the companies. Like we can't pay for that. So if you'd like to look into that, it's way Candace Owens. You are the last person who should be defending Candace Owens.
Well, yeah, I know that I wouldn't agree with Candace Owens. I'm just saying that like.
It wasn't. She criticized Israel. No. She made a sly reference that the Holocaust didn't happen. It was way more different than that.
Yeah. But
and you know, rightfully so. They said you work for our company. You can't be saying those things.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, Ben Shapiro, like his whole thing is that he's like good, like.
Also, Christian. Wait a minute. Since when is he's not Christian? He's Jewish.
Well, I know
Since
he's
when
Jewish,
is not liking anti-Semitism far right? I thought the whole thing was we're Nazis.
No. See, it's not anti-Semitism. Really doesn't have anything to do with it. You know, because I mean, you can be far right and not be anti-Semitic. Like that's absolutely a thing. You can also be far right and very anti-Semitic. You know, there's like because I think the thing about Ben Shapiro is that he is specifically like a Judeo-Christian frame, like very intensely.
That's not far right. Know? That's just like Western civilization.
That is. I don't think that is true, but
what do you define
Western
as not
civilization?
Far right? Define what is not.
No, I'm
far
not
right
saying that the Judeo-Christian
because Ben Shapiro is about as milquetoast conservative as you can get.
I'm not saying that Judeo-Christianity is far right. What I am saying is that like a whole media platform that says things like this is like a Judeo-Christian system.
It is.
This is okay, but I actually don't think that.
I think that it's
on that. It's not though. That
was like with the founding fathers. That was their foundation.
Okay, but a lot of them actually weren't Christian.
That's not. There was like two who were actual atheists. Thomas Jefferson, the one I always quote,
was a atheist.
No, Thomas Jefferson was a deist. He wasn't an atheist.
Okay, yeah, but what it's just because they're like So, first
most of them, like George
atheism,
Washington, John Adams, a lot of others were devout Christians.
Okay, but also, first of all, atheism, very uncommon. When they were...
Actual lived atheism?
Yeah.
We're talking about now or back then?
Back then.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That was super uncommon. The fact that they had 2 of them, that's like
100 or so. That's like 2%.
I don't know. I do think that's a pretty good ratio.
South Carolina.
The other thing is that people always reference, for instance, like the Pilgrims as they were Christian. They were founded us as a Christian nation.
No, they were Puritans. They were nuts.
Well, but here's the thing: the whole point was not to find a Christian nation. It's to escape religious persecution
from other Protestants. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but doesn't matter.
I'm dancing right now.
The foundation of our nation is not Christianity. It is freedom of religion, right? That we won't persecute you for your religion, and we won't legislate our religion.
Saying this country is a Judeo-Christian nation doesn't discriminate against any religion.
It absolutely. If you're not Judeo-Christian, then it absolutely.
That doesn't mean you can't practice Islam or Hinduism. It just means
that it's not preferred.
It just means
exactly. You said the quiet part out loud.
It just means that this is the system that this country was. This is the foundation of this country. We are acknowledging this. Doesn't mean the others you can't practice here.
Well, yeah, but it does imply that Judeo-Christianity is the preferred.
No, it's a Judeo-Christian value. What was that word I was looking for? Not killing other people of other religions. That's a Judeo-Christian value.
Is it? Because there's a lot of very genocide-y things in the Old Testament. Just saying. There's definitely sections.
I would be very careful for you claiming God was wrong.
Okay, but I'm not going to pull any of these. But there are definitely sections where God's like,
do you know how that?
And those people, you should kill them all. Just kill them all, guys.
What standard are you basing that on? That was wrong on.
That it's wrong for. I'm not saying that it's necessarily. I'm a Christian.
First of all,
but the thing is,
civilization worked back then. It wasn't just the top people. They were like the Assyrians. They were sacrificing babies to their gods, putting them in golden hands. People, yeah. And it wasn't. And back then, it wasn't just it's just top people. It was every fucking person did shit like that. And that's the Iron Age warfare was fucking brutal.
Oh yeah, very.
You would take prisoners. You went in there. If your city didn't surrender, you killed every last person.
Well, and then you killed their families, and usually you killed their families in front of them in agonizing ways.
Yes, that's how it worked.
Before you slowly killed the
humanity
person.
Was not a very pleasant place.
No, I mean, yeah, but my point is that. Our whole ideal is freedom of religion.
I don't know, God
means that we should not
people gotta go.
Making preferences for other religions.
It's not a preference. It's saying this country is founded on
Judeo-Christian values, so those values are preferred.
Would it be more accurate to say this country is founded on Islamic values?
I think it'd be more accurate to say that this country was founded on freedom of religion.
What value is that? Doesn't come from nowhere. That doesn't come from a vacuum.
What do you mean that doesn't?
Letting people practice their own faith doesn't just come from nowhere.
Yeah, it doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from people being persecuted for their religion and recognizing that if you place a preference on a religion, that same preference, that same idea that you can prefer one religion over another, will be turned back on you at some point.
What are the Bill
of Rights? Turning of the wheel of time.
What are the Bill of Rights?
The Bill of what?
What are the Bill of Rights?
The Bill of man.
Sorry, let me rephrase that. How did the founding fathers come to the conclusion that we need a Bill of Rights?
Because we didn't have all the rights that probably should be included.
Well, here's the thing.
For all humans.
Kind of mostly right, but they acknowledge in the Constitution that this isn't us giving you these rights. These are rights, inalienable rights, that God has given us that are inalienable to every single human being. We can't give them to you. We can't take them away. That was their view on this. You read this. This was the founding fathers' view.
Yeah. So, I mean, the language might have been their God-given rights, but you also have to understand that they are framing this, from a certain perspective, right? From a perspective of a lot of these people were communicating to people, like the word God, right? That's loaded for a lot of different people, right? And so the preferred the preferred kind of line of logic at the time is that there is some sort of God, and so
these are. But the idea is that
these are
all
innate.
just pandering. Yes,
these are innate.
But are you suggesting they were all just pandering and none of them actually believe that?
No, absolutely. Yeah, I think that the argument was that these are innate things. They're not. They're baked into reality.
But they didn't just come from nowhere, is what they said. That these threats didn't just appear. Because if everyone actually followed atheist ideals, you end up with Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union everywhere.
I don't think that's real.
It is real. Humanity cannot make their own morality.
I'm just saying I know a lot of atheists who are very nice people.
Congratulations, they're not real. They're not actual atheists.
That's such an insane thing to say that every person who's an atheist and a good person... It doesn't mean
they actually believe in God. It just means they follow Christian ideals that have been baked into society.
I don't know. Okay, because the other thing is, what about Hinduist people? I know a lot of Muslims who are really nice and really great.
Well, they're doing Islam wrong.
I
don't doubt they're good people.
As a person who's friends with several Muslims,
I don't doubt they're good people.
I would say that I'm going to trust the Muslims who know their religion.
Oh, okay. First of all,
you who's sitting across the table from me.
There's a lot of Protestants who get a lot of wrong. Christian, I buried the joke there. There's a lot of Christians who get very wrong things about the Bible. Like the Mormons say this is a reference in Jesus saying he has other sheep. He's going to go preach to the Native Americans. Well, he knows about the Bible. He's a Mormon. He's a devout Mormon.
Okay, wait. Sorry, I did not follow that.
Basically, you're saying I'm going to trust these guys. They know their religion. And I'm saying there's a lot of Christian sects that believe a lot of very wrong things about the Bible.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Luther.
Okay, but
not up to your own interpretation.
Yeah, but I think the whole idea is that I'm going to trust the people who actually practice Islam.
Well,
not the person who's sitting across from me who has mostly learned from what they know about Islam from Quran. People like the whole thing.
Yes, granted not in Arabic, but English, but. I've read a lot of books. I've read Communist Manifesto. I've read Mein Kampf. Mein Kampf was it was nothing special. It was go read any incel ramblings on the internet. It's the same thing. He wasn't an intellectual.
Communist Manifesto. I'm going to be honest.
Terrifying.
I didn't find terrifying. I was just this is like a nothing thing.
I can see that.
There's nothing like super crazy.
I found it terrible because this is something someone actually believed, but it's completely contrary to human nature. And every time, I don't know. I read it with a historical context. But what were we talking about?
I have no idea. Maybe let's just.
I was saying just because someone practices a religion doesn't mean that they know every single thing about it and that they're 100% right about it. Is what I'm saying because. You're hard pressed to say Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses are the right ones about Christianity.
What I'm saying, though, is that someone who practices a religion is much more likely to know their religion than someone who does not practice that religion.
And I disagree.
What?
Okay, we're kind of talking. I get why. Well, because we're kind of talking in circles here, and I'm saying, well, just because someone practices it doesn't really mean they know shit about it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they do. I'm not saying that they absolutely do. I'm just saying that they're more likely to know their religion than someone who doesn't. I don't doubt they're good people. I bet they're very fine, civilized, kind people. But my thing is, if I would assume these people would say. Killing people of other religions is wrong, right? I assume they'd say that. If Muhammad, the guy did that, if he got it wrong, what makes you think they're doing, according to them, if he got it wrong, what makes you think they're getting it right? The guy I don't know Islam, and I'm not going to pretend I do.
Read it, it's quite interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I probably should.
How did we get on this? We went from Islam, from the Founding Fathers, to the Bill of Rights.
Anyway, maybe we should just move to the next point because I do feel like we're
talking in circles.
Yeah, running in circles a little bit.
So I believe, so I won that debate clearly. Always do when that happens. Let's move on. Unorthodox history. Sea monkeys. We all know them. We all love them and had them as children. We all remember looking at those amazing cartoons. I'm just gonna go full screen on this. Cartoons of undersea monkeys little people building sandcastles and couldn't wait till we grew ours to do the same. Only to be disappointed in the glorified fish food they became. But what you don't know is who made them. Ladies and gentlemen, This is the story of Harold von Braunert. See, this is why I hate that another reason I hate that we're only doing audio right now, because I was going to clip this into TikToks.
Ugh.
Oh, I hate my life.
Disgraceful.
I hate you, Clara. No, she's lovely. Born in Memphis, Tennessee in 1926 and was the son of a printing shop owner. Harold was raised in a devout Orthodox Jewish upbringing, which is going to sound very surprising given what I'm going to tell you later. Harold had always shown an aptitude for invention and ingenuity, and taking as much money as he could, took out an advertisement in the back of a comic book for his first invention, X-ray specs, which claimed to be able to see through the clothing of whoever it was pointed at.
I wonder who the target demographic for this is.
I definitely wasn't young boys. Harold held the patents for almost 200 inventions, some of which became great cultural icons, such as crazy crabs, which were basically just hermit crabs, amazing hair-raising monsters, invisible goldfish, which was, I guess, just ask your parents about this. This was an 80s thing. I guess just like a fish bowl, but like nothing in it.
Huh.
And finally, the amazing sea monkeys. Harold found out that brine shrimp eggs could be dried and stored for an indefinite period of time. These eggs, along with a starter kit and small aquarium, he sold to the tune of millions of dollars. These sea monkeys sparked comic books, a television series, which the pictures are creepy as hell. It's live action. It's not cartoon.
Dude,
it's just like live action of people in makeup as like the cartoon sea monkeys. It's horrible.
Yeah, that's not good.
A lot of terrifying pictures in this episode. But thank God, maybe that's why God had Clara chew on that so people didn't have to see that.
Yeah.
Astronaut John Glenn eventually took 400 million of them up into space. Things eventually went wrong for Harold as some of his personal views came to light. Originally raised Harold Nathan Braunert, he removed the Nathan and added von to distance himself from his Jewish identity.
Oh, what? Where is this going?
Yeah, I think you know where it's going.
What?
Harold eventually grew close to and became... Oh, God, what happened? Sorry, computer screwed up. Oh, I love this episode. Harold eventually grew close and became involved with various white supremacist groups such as the Aryan Nation and Ku Klux Klan, even going as far as to supply firearms to the latter. Remember this every time your kid wants sea monkeys, so you have fond memories.
Yeah, no sea monkeys for little Timmy.
In 1988, he was named Outstanding Aryan Nationalist Leader by the Aryan Nations Congress. Harold died on November 28, 2003 at the ripe old age of 73, and currently resides in the bowels of hell, along with every one of his beloved brine shrimp, as it turns out that they hold Islamic radical views. He will be missed.
Wow.
Crazy, right? I see.
That was insane.
Would have been way crazier seeing the pictures. The
guy who
invented sea monkeys was a Nazi.
Yeah, that's insane.
I bet you did not see that coming. You can't see it, but I'm holding a noose right now. All right. Wait. I guess he was too. What?
You know what's nuts?
What?
There's a place that I worked at one point. So I was listening to a podcast about the Aryan Nation, right?
Yeah.
It's like a kind of like a camp in like the mountains. Well, it's like very very non.
They have s'mores and
non-religious, non-like affiliated at this point. I was listening to a podcast and they were describing this place where an Aryan Nation gathering was held at one point, where they like burned a cross in the yard and like brought all the firearms that they were going to use in like a race war that they were trying to start.
Yeah, was it Charles Manson?
No, it wasn't Charles Manson. It was the Aryan Nation. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was like.
He might have been him. Yeah,
anyway, I found out. I was like listening to the podcast and I was like, wait, I worked here. They were describing where it was and like stuff, and I was like, wait. This is where I worked.
Where that happened? Where is that?
It's okay. All right. It's at
no one's gonna listen to this.
It's at the YMCA of the Rockies in Estes Park, Colorado.
Good Lord!
At one point in the 80s,
a renting
hosted.
Thing?
Yeah, like they just rented it out. I'm assuming. I'm assuming that they didn't really know the group that was but it is a YMCA, so I'm guessing they saw like, oh, Christian,
they're just
a
struggling.
lot of flavors of Christian out there, some of which are more.
It's like It's a Wonderful Life, and they're like a family struggling to rent out their camp. It's like, Mary, you won't believe it. These 15 bald gentlemen want to rent out our camp for the whole week, Mary. It's amazing.
Yeah, they're just watching from their cabin as they hoist up the cross.
Look at how many.
What are all they doing? They're slowly realizing who they are.
Look,
throughout
Daddy,
the weekend.
Every time those men get their... Like teacher says, every time those guys put their hands up, an angel gets its wings.
Look, Daddy, they gave me a fun tattoo. They're slowly converting his son.
We have to call the police. Okay. Oh, my God. Sorry, I have a mosquito bite on the back of my leg. It's itchy as hell. Viewer question response. I was going to do Reddit reads all on this one. So last week, if you watched the show, which you should, go back and watch that real quick. Oh, wait. And we're back. It's crazy you said the same thing.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
A young man wrote into the show, a young man 4 years older than me. Thank you for knocking that wall thing off. He apparently, he's a young man, senior in high school, going to college this coming fall. That's fine, you can leave it there. And he has a girlfriend they've been dating for a couple years, and she approached him to start an open relationship. She asked if it would be okay if basically she wanted to talk about starting an open relationship, and before I even finished it, stop doing that. Before I even finished it, I was like, leave her, was my immediate response. And then it kept going and going. What did he say? He said he basically loves her. He doesn't want to leave her, but he doesn't want to do this, but he didn't have the balls to tell her. And I basically responded, like, dude, leave her. If she wants to start an open relationship, she either has someone in mind or she's done it already. If it's the former, she's already emotionally cheated on you, which is a real thing. And one man, one woman, that's how it should go. Not. And this is the response of the aforementioned woman. Hey, I'm going to try to not use as much language in here as I can. It's bad. Hey, a-hole, butthole. She doesn't say butthole. Spoiler alert. Who the F do you think you are getting involved in my relationship? See, I said I'd try not to swear as much. I saw your bowl poop answer last week. Guess you didn't say bowl poop. You don't know anything about me, my boyfriend, or anything we've been through. What we want to do is none of your effing business. And if you get a question like that from him or anyone else again, you need to ignore it. I like how she clearly just didn't have the time. You can't watch that show anymore. But it's like if you ask again.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
For your information, I know plenty, and plenty's in all caps, of couples in open relationships, and it works perfectly for them. You don't know shit. Why the F would my boyfriend take advice from some piece of poop podcast with 12 subscribers? 23. Thank you, man, on YouTube. And growing. Thank you very much, bitch. Do the whole world a favor and die a lonely virgin with no friends. F you. First of all, ho, you don't know where this thing's been.
Second of all, he has a dog.
I have a dog and a tortoise that love me very well. The tortoise is indifferent, but the dog loves me very much. So, first of all, skank. I mean, okay. How do I respond other than...
Yeah, because it's hard to respond to this because there's not really...
Buddy, if you're listening to this again, fucking leave her. I know I said give her the benefit of the doubt last time. No.
Well,
she's crazy.
I mean,
get out.
Here is the one thing is... just talk about how you actually feel about this.
No.
Don't say...
I think she's proven herself completely unhinged. Get out of the situation.
No, what I'm saying is I don't want to have this conversation with her. Well, here's the thing. In a relationship, you got to have the conversation.
Because I am so
if you don't have the conversation...
You took the time to write this email. Because it so offended your ego. I don't even think you really want to go through this open relationship, but you've dug yourself such a hole that you feel like you have to. If you do this, bitch, you understand how much it will devastate him? This doesn't work for men.
Oh, I don't know. I think it does work for some men. Not really.
Don't.
There's a lot of stories about guys who open the relationship and then realize that it's way easier for women to be in an open relationship because the street's littered with dick. Whose stand-up special is that? I don't know. There's a female comedian who has a stand-up special that I think that's the title of it.
The hilarious Amy Schumer.
I don't think it was.
Sorry, I was puking.
Yeah, Amy Schumer.
Anyway, fuck you. You know what? Since most people who watch the show, except for the weird amount in India and the UK. Come on, email me. You used a burner. It was like fuck you 2929 or something like that.
Oh yeah, come on.
First of all,
come on, don't use the burner. Okay, be a man.
Reveal who you are. I'm not going after you. If you come to the studio, call in. Let's hash this out in person. Let's have this conversation about the virtue of open relationships, why you want to do it, why you're such a dumb hoe bag. I shouldn't have said that. That was uncharitable.
Okay, yeah, here's the thing, though, too. I mean, I'm not going to say that open relationships don't work for some people. I mean, yeah, you are.
It's adultery, you bitch.
Yeah, not you, but also, like, I'm not going to say that my way of doing things is the only way.
In this case, one man, one woman, that's the only way.
But
at the very least, one bit woke about it. 2 consenting adults, only 2 in a committed relationship to each other. Anything else, stupid, and you're stupid if you do that. There's a direct correlation between the amount of partners you've had and the rate of your psychopathy.
But my point was here is that if the guy doesn't want to do it, like this is a clear sign that there's a break in the relationship. That that you guys are not on the same page.
And I mean when I said the fact that you're getting so offended about this, you clearly have done this already. I think you have, or you have someone in mind.
Yeah,
otherwise, why would you? Yes.
Yeah, very angry.
Guilty people. It strikes you. It's like when Jesus met the demon and tried to stab him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I bet if I threw holy water on you, it would singe.
Well, really going hard in on the personal insults.
Yes. Because why did she take the time?
It is pretty funny. Yeah.
I guarantee they're just listening to this in the car driving. Like, wait a fucking minute, that's about me! Click. And you know what? I know, I remember for a fact, I fucked up on showing that email. So you had to, like, dig to find that email just to send this to me? Or maybe you demanded it from your boyfriend, who, I'm sorry, buddy, you seem neutered. I'm sorry to insult you. Leave her.
I don't know.
Walk away, man.
I don't want to blame a guy for being a...
18, 19? Leave her. There's plenty of fish in the sea. I know the first bite of pudding feels like the last bite.
Yeah. This is like I think a classic thing that happens to young people is one person in a relationship.
Your whole bad girlfriend wants to open an open relationship.
Well, no, I think it's more broadly. One person in a relationship is not naive. One person is.
Oh yeah.
One person has like a plenty of fish in the sea. This is not my first, not my last relationship. You know.
Hey, friend.
You know, and one person's like, this is the most important person I've ever met, and I love this person. Yep. And I don't know, buddy, it's kind of sad.
I see 2 paths for you. One, you can be a man, have the conversation now. Seemingly, she's going to get defensive. You'll probably have to end up walking away from the table. You don't go to the gym, get yourself in shape, or you continue the relationship. You cave to what she wants, because it's seemingly she's a very demanding woman. She wants what she wants. You go through with the open relationship, you're probably not going to be able to do anything, and if you do, I guarantee you she's going to be more pissed at you than you will be at her. And you are going to have to hear about all the guys she is banging. Maybe you'll even walk in on it. Maybe you'll talk to them. Maybe one of them will high-five you after getting done. Maybe you'll walk in your house and it'll be just like a line of dudes getting out. Like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and it's just like a continuous train of people in the room. One of them's a midget. Maybe if it's the latter that breaks my heart, dude, I don't want that for you. You don't want that for yourself. Write in back about what you responded with. And ma'am, don't be with anyone. You're clearly not mature enough. If you enter a relationship with the thought of it ending, I don't think you shouldn't be in that relationship. Like,
that is true.
Like
yeah.
if you enter a marriage, like prenups shouldn't be a thing. Being like, oh, we just signed a prenup. You're planning for failure.
Actually, you know what? I actually think that prenups are maybe it's like a will, right? No one wants to die, right? But
dying's inevitable. Divorce.
Yeah, divorce isn't. I'm just saying, like, no one
as a
wants
Catholic,
a divorce.
I do not acknowledge the reality of divorce.
Yeah, no one.
It's not true.
Yeah, that's
what God has brought
sort of out of pocket, but
they know where I stand.
I mean, yeah, but that's like a real thing that you're. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But
I also know that you're a hoe bag.
Yeah, but anyway,
used up, dried up more than a pocket pussy in a frat house.
Wow, really going in.
No, because this bitch pissed me off. That's why. I try to be nice. I try not to swear, but you're a cunt. Honestly, you are. And you know what? I guarantee I know you. Just like I said, this is clearly an American-speaking person, so not one of the Indians. And they have a whole different thing over there. So I'm willing to bet I know you. Come talk to me in person.
Well, I mean, your Indian viewers probably understand you. So I'm guessing if you wrote you wouldn't...
Konnichiwa, my Native American bros. God, let's get a burger sometime. It's offended so many people. All right, let's wrap that up.
And there goes half your viewership.
Goodbye. It was nice seeing you.
Actually, 30%, which is wild.
You know what? If India's gone, I'll appeal to Pakistanis.
Hey?
We don't like Jews! Hey-oh.
Deafening silence.
Hey! Who needs bacon? I don't like bacon. Who wants to eat bacon? Fuck that.
Not me.
Hey, you know what? I think cashmere is pretty cool.
Dude, everyone likes cashmere.
There's
a whole Seinfeld episode about how
the region, not the region, not the place.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what?
Sorry. Yeah, I thought that you were making a totally different reference.
You didn't know Bin Laden was there. I get it. You fucked up. We all screw up sometimes.
Dude, I've hid Bin Laden in my
Who hasn't
space before?
The head of a terrorist organization in their
no, specifically
before.
Bin Laden.
And then SEAL Team 6 comes in, shoots him in the head, and you're like, oh, we didn't know he was there. I get it. You know what? Come on the show. Well, let's have a glass of whiskey, smoke a cigar, it'll be a good time. All right. Back to this cunt. I don't anything more to say on that. She sucks. Dude, get out of there.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's probably important for you guys to actually be able to talk about this thing.
There seems to be a pretty clear divide, because I can show you the email too. He clearly doesn't want to do it. She clearly does.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not the right situation.
And look, buddy, I know you're young.
If you open up a relationship, it's not going to be happy unless both people are very willing to do it.
It's not going to be happy either way. There's going to be a lot of... Just don't do it. There's going to be a lot of resentment, a lot of anger. Someone's going to be way more successful than the other. Just don't do it. Also, buddy, I know you're young. I think he might have said it was his first girlfriend in the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it's going to be your last. It's not. Trust me. There's plenty of pussy in the sea, plenty of fish in the sea, and most salmon isn't as used up.
Yeah, a lot of time... Well, I'm not going to go...
She deserves no benefit of the doubt.
My point is that I was gonna say.
Christ. Not you, the person.
Is that there's plenty of fish in the sea. Essentially, is what it boils down to.
And most of them haven't been fishing with every fucking fly fisherman out there.
Yeah. Also, there are plenty of people out there who want to be with you. It's not this one-way street. I know it can seem like that a lot of times, but
so you got hormones going. You're getting your first pubes. Well, that's way older than that.
I'm just saying, you're probably a good guy if this is tearing you up so much, and you even considered it because you think she's so fantastic. That's desirable. Yeah. Someone who's gonna stick with you and who's gonna be torn up about breaking up with someone.
Problem is, I guarantee.
Don't lose that. Honestly. Don't let this experience make you jaded to the rest of the people, because they're
make it jaded with her.
Yeah, I think, but there are plenty of people out there who will absolutely be in a committed relationship with you.
Go join a nice church
and who would never want to be with someone else other than you.
Key tip for all young men out there: don't find women at bars, clubs. It's just not a good idea. Don't do it. Don't do it. I went through a phase like that. It's not fun. Join a nice church.
Yeah, is that did you meet the one who tried to kill your fish with Jack Daniels?
It was Johnny Walker. It was a bar. It was AJ's, actually.
Okay. No. Wow, AJ's. Yep, AJ's is the...
I saw that was a bear trap, and he's like,
that is the party bar.
You know what?
That's the underage, yep.
I saw the cheese on the mousetrap. He's like, you know what? I'm hungry. It's worth it. Was it? Not you. Kind of. It was, honestly. All right. Oh, yeah, come on the show, man. Or woman. Man. Go to the gym. Socials.
Yeah, go to the gym. It's a great,
Don't try to talk to women at the gym. It's not a good place.
No, yeah. The other thing too is back to the man or bear. There's a reason why women were choosing bear hand over fist. It's because women, whether we like it or not, we won't go into it. Whether there is a threat, blah blah blah. But women are constantly perceiving threats from men in their environment. Don't make the gym a threatening place for women. Everyone should be able to work out.
No one's
it's so
accusing
good
you.
for you. No, yeah, no one's accusing you. Just, like, in general.
I guarantee this woman would choose the man, just as it's another dick.
Well, I don't know.
Unless she specified and it's a bear with some cubs, like that's like maybe like 3 more dicks. She's a hoe, is what I'm saying. Okay.
Wait. Okay, I see what you were doing, yeah.
Okay, you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and X at UnorthoBros. Show email. Send us your questions like this, Hobag, at the UnorthodoxPod at proton.me. You can watch us on YouTube, Rumble, and listen to us on Spotify. Give us some money. You have money. You don't need all that money. Do that at Evan-Brennan-10.
Fucking greedy.
I really hope this show recorded properly. I think we might have fucked with the audio there halfway through. I think I can fix that in post. Please, God, let me be able to fix that in post if there is anything to fix. Ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for tonight's episode. I will see you next week, quite possibly, maybe. Tech Guy, any final words?
I love you and good night. That wasn't to...
What?
That was to the viewers.
Okay. Keep it unorthodox. Have a great weekend.